Donald Trump has put the January 6th prisoners at the forefront of his campaign. At nearly every rally, the former president paints those who are in jail as the real victims, often talking about them in glowing, even reverent terms. Now, I've made my view on this clear. The people who were there and briefly walked in and out of the Capitol and didn't attack anyone or do any property damage should not receive stiff penalties, and in almost all cases, I believe, no jail time. But those in the mob who attacked police officers, they should have the book thrown at them. So the big question is, how many people who are in jail now actually attack police officers? Well, up to now, it has not been an easy question to answer. Compiling all the information from each case is tough, takes a lot of work, but thanks to a new exhaustive report, we finally have the answers, which I'll discuss in a minute. But listening to the Trump rallies, you would think these are heroes. They often begin the events with a rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner sung by the January 6th prisoners via prison telephone, while the former president stands proudly at attention.
Please rise for the horribly and unfairly treated January 6th hostages.
The former president is standing and saluting them like they're decorated military officers or even heroes. And the former president not only celebrates the prisoners' performance, he actually recites the Pledge of Allegiance before the jailbirds launch into their version of the anthem. And after it's played, he often boasts about how well the track sold on iTunes.
The hostages, you heard them singing. You heard the spirit that they had? The spirit is unbelievable. That song became the #1 song.
And then at a rally a few weeks ago, he suggested he will set them free on his very first day in office.
You see the spirit from the hostages, and that's what they are, as hostages. They've been treated terribly and very unfairly, and you know that, and everybody knows that. And we're going to be working on that soon as the first day we get into office. We're going to save our country, and we're going to work with the people to treat those unbelievable patriots, and they were unbelievable patriots and are.
And if there was any ambiguity about the former president's plans, check out this Truth Social post from last month. Quote, "My first act as your next president will be to close the border, drill baby drill, and free the January 6th hostages being wrongly imprisoned." But now we know that Donald Trump is spending an awful lot of time glorifying thugs who attacked our men and women in law enforcement. How do we know? A legal think tank and website called Just Security, very prominent, conducted a thorough analysis of the January 6th cases and found that of the 29 people currently behind bars for January 6th crimes, 27 were charged with assaulting law enforcement officers. 27 out of the 29. 19 of them have already been convicted or pled guilty, with 8 cases still to be tried. In light of all that, it's kind of stunning that former president has said these things about these people. Take a look at a few of the unbelievable patriots, quote unquote, Donald Trump seemingly wants to set free. Matthew Kroll pled guilty to a felony count of assaulting officers with a dangerous weapon. According to the charging documents, he stole a baton from an officer and then proceeded to beat at least 3 others with that same baton, including Capitol Police Sergeant Aquilino Gonell, whose hand was badly injured from the strikes. Scott Miller also pled guilty to a felony. Miller repeatedly struck one officer with a long wooden pole and pulled a riot shield out of the hands of 2 others. He's also said to have thrown several objects at other officers. Stephen Cappuccio was convicted on 6 felonies, including assaulting officers with a deadly weapon. In this stunning footage, you can see Cappuccio grabbing the gas mask of D.C. Metropolitan Police Officer Daniel Hodges and violently jerking his neck around. These are not hostages. They're not unbelievable patriots. Look, earlier this week I gave Donald Trump credit for attending the wake of slain NYPD officer Jonathan Diller, who was killed during a traffic stop. Yes, he undermined the gesture by crowing about how well he was received at the funeral home, but still, Trump brought attention to an important issue I've devoted much of my professional life to covering, an issue the left-leaning media likely would not have covered at all if Trump hadn't shown up, and that is the safety of our police officers. But you can't be a champion of law enforcement when you praise the thugs who perpetrated violence against them. It's a slap in the face to the men and women who put their lives on the line every day to keep our streets and communities, our government buildings safe. They are the unbelievable patriots. They are the ones who deserve to be saluted during the national anthem. And the people who tried to hurt them, they're not hostages. They deserve every day of prison time they get. This new report makes this sort of statement ring incredibly hollow.
I support the police, I would say at the highest level of any president by far, maybe double or triple.
Look, I hope in the wake of this report that Donald Trump changes his position on these imprisoned rioters who attack police officers. But I won't be holding my breath.